Grandfather, why does life feel so difficult sometimes? Why do good times come and go? Ah, my boy, life is like the seasons. Let me tell you a story. When I was a young man, I was full of dreams. I wanted to build a great farm, but I had nothing but a handful of seeds. One spring, I met an old wise man who told me, to reap a harvest, you must first plant the right seeds. So, I worked hard, ploughing the land, planting seeds and watering them with faith. Just as the Bible says in Ecclesiastes chapter 3 verse 1, to everything there is a season, a time for every purpose under heaven. Spring is the time to take action, to sow the seeds of effort and wisdom. Without planting, there is no harvest. Think of Thomas Edison. He failed over 1,000 times before inventing the light bulb, but he saw each failure as planting a seed of knowledge. He once said, "I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work." His persistence in planting ideas eventually led to a harvest of success that changed the world. As the crops grew, summer came. The sun was hot and the weeds tried to choke my plants. There were pests, droughts and storms. Many times I wanted to give up, but I remembered what Jim Rohn said. Neglect starts as an infection and becomes a disease. So I worked harder, pulling weeds, watering my crops and guarding them from harm. Summer is a time to be diligent, to protect what we've planted, and to be patient even when it feels tough. Look at Nelson Mandela. He spent 27 years in prison, enduring hardship and injustice, but he protected his vision of a free South Africa. He didn't let the weeds of hatred choke his dream, and in the end his patience and endurance led to freedom and unity. Then came autumn, the season of reward. I reaped a great harvest, filling my barn with grain. It was the result of my labor in spring and my patience in summer. Life is the same, my son. If you have planted well and protected what you started, you will have a time of abundance. Proverbs 24 warns, "The lazy man will not plough because of winter. He will beg during harvest and have nothing. Those who prepare will always find reward." Consider Oprah Winfrey. Born into poverty, she faced many challenges, but she never stopped learning, growing and working hard. When her autumn arrived, she was ready. Today, she is one of the most influential women in the world, using her success to help others. Winter marks the end of the cycle, but it also signifies a time of rest and renewal. The earth takes a pause, conserving energy and preparing for the rebirth of spring. Just like in life, we too must embrace these moments of stillness, understanding that they are essential for growth and transformation. But just as harvest passed, winter arrived. The fields became empty, the trees stood bare, and the cold winds blew. Many villagers complained and lost hope, but I saw winter differently. As Jim Rohn said, winter always comes, but so does spring. Winter is not a time to despair, but to reflect, learn, and prepare for the next season. It is a time to strengthen our faith, plan new dreams, and get ready for another spring. Remember the story of Steve Jobs? He was fired from Apple, the very company he founded. That was his winter. But instead of giving up, he used that time to learn, innovate, and build Pixar. When spring came again, he returned to Apple and led it to even greater success. Life moves in seasons, my boy. You will have times of planting, times of struggle, times of reward, and times of rest. But remember this, you cannot change the seasons, but you can change yourself. If you plant wisely, work diligently, and never lose faith, you will always find success, no matter the season. Smiling. He now understood that life, like the seasons, was a cycle, one of growth, challenge, reward, and renewal. And with wisdom, patience, and hard work, he could embrace each season with confidence. The end.